Buy wisely. Buy for flavor. Buy Del Monte. Del Monte, the brand you trust for flavor in so many good foods. Time now for Rocky Jordan, brought to you today by Del Monte Tomato Products. Not far from the Mosque Sultan Hassan in Cairo stands the Cafe Tambourine, run by Rocky Jordan. The Cafe Tambourine, crowded with forgotten men, alive with the babble of many languages. For this is Cairo, where modern adventure and intrigue unfold against the backdrop of antiquity. Del Monte presents Rocky Jordan and this week's story, Memento from Adelaide.
I first saw them standing on the sidewalk outside my tambourine. Two men, one tall and thin with a puckered mouth that looked like it had been eating sour apples. The other short and fat, fidgeting with a briefcase and pointing to the numbers that marked the address of my cafe. They stood outside for a moment, jabbering to each other. Then I guess they made up their minds because they came into my place, the fat one in the lead. A few seconds later, the fat one opened the conversation.
You, sir. Your name, sir, is...
Rocky Jordan.
As expected. My card, sir. J. Lampo of the PIC, the Pyramid Insurance Company. Home office is Alexandria.
Huh?
Insurance of all sorts. Fire, theft, life, health, group annuities, fidelity, and surety bonds, etc. My associate here...
My card. H. Manchek, similarly of the PIC. Agent for the Cairo district. We are in business for your protection.
Well, thanks a lot, fellas. I appreciate that, but I'm not in the market for any insurance.
My briefcase. Now the papers. Shall I interrogate, or do you wish to Manchek?
Whichever you prefer.
Look, why don't you start, Lampo, and Manchek and fill in the gaps, but make it fast. I got a lot to do.
We all have, Mr. Jordan. I shall proceed. You could, if requested, secure affidavits from reliable persons attesting you are Rocky Jordan, as you say, and no other.
I could. Since I am no other, there must be a point to all this.
The Rocky Jordan we have in mind owned an establishment called the Cafe Tambourine, even as this cafe is called. Now, this cafe previously had been located in two other large world cities.
Name the cities.
Istanbul and San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Am I warned?
This Rocky Jordan we have in mind is not native to Egypt. He is an immigrant from another country.
Name the country.
How about the United States?
In what city of this same United States was this Rocky Jordan born?
I'll try St. Louis.
Mr. Lampo, this is indeed the man. Our exhaustive investigations the last few weeks prove it to me.
And to me. Mr. Jordan, I shall leave these release from claim papers with you. After you have studied them to your complete satisfaction, please to sign them.
And then?
H. Manchek shall return this evening to pick up the signed papers and deliver to you a check. Payment in full, $40,000.
$40,000 in American money, Mr. Jordan. PIC shall then be relieved of its obligation to you.
Well, $40,000 is a nice obligation, fellas, but
the Pyramid Insurance Company prefers always to pay claims against it as rapidly as possible. In this case, there was unavoidable delay because you presented no formal claim. Since, however, you are beneficiary, the money is rightfully yours.
Look, fellas, I don't like to be a wet blanket, but there must be some mistake.
There is no mistake, Mr. Jordan, rest assured. We have investigated thoroughly. PIC owes you $40,000. Ever since the death a year ago of Mrs. Adelaide Foss Jordan, your wife.
Lampo and Manchek walked out of the tambourine and left me standing there with my mouth open. I figured they were phonies, a couple of loonies working Cairo for laughs. But the insurance papers in my hand looked real enough. So I put in a quick call to the Cairo office of the Pyramid Insurance Company to check. It turned out that Lampo and Manchek did work there, but I still wasn't convinced. So I put in a call to Captain Sabaaya, Cairo Police, to have a few words with him.
Captain Sabaaya speaking.
Sam, this is Rocky.
Good afternoon, Jordan.
If you have a moment, I'd like to ask you something.
Proceed.
What do you know about the Pyramid Insurance Company?
Why do you ask?
Oh, curiosity, Sam. I want to know if they're reliable.
Absolutely. I have even taken out a policy with them myself.
All right. Thanks, Sam. Sam,
Yes?
does the name Adelaide Foss mean anything to you?
Adelaide Foss?
Ah.
No, it does not.
All right. Thanks, Sam. See you later. Pyramid Insurance Company was legit, all right. J. Lampo and H. Manchek worked for it. If they said I had $40,000 coming, I had. And if they said I had a wife, I guess I had that too. Even though the name Adelaide Foss meant nothing to me. Adelaide Foss. Things began to stir in my mind. I moved out of my office over to the bar to have a talk with my bartender, Chris. Oh, Chris.
Yeah, Rocky.
Wait a minute, will you?
Sure. What is it, Rock?
Say, what do you know about the name Adelaide Foss?
Adelaide? Adelaide Foss. Well, you know her, Rock. She used to work here.
Work here?
Yeah, about a year ago. Just for a couple of days. Waited on tables, and then she quit.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. Sort of a small, skinny girl with a lot on her mind. How do you remember so well?
I dated her a couple of times. Sometimes you don't forget the girls you date.
You know what happened to her?
She died. Not long after she left here.
How?
Accident. She was hit by a car. Why do you bring it up, Rock?
Oh, I just had a visit from a couple of insurance representatives. Seems she had an insurance policy.
Insurance policy?
Yeah, with me as beneficiary. You see, she's got it marked that I'm her husband. Why would she do a thing like that, Chris?
I don't know, Rock.
Seems a little funny, doesn't it? Dame I barely know dies. A year goes by. Her life insurance policy turns up, and I'm $40,000 richer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, all right.
I'd sort of like to know why. Any ideas where I could look for some answers?
Why don't you leave it alone, Rock?
What do you mean?
Well, she's dead. Let it rest.
What do you suggest I do? Just sign these papers and collect the $40,000?
Well, it's all legit, isn't it?
Well, seems to be.
Look, let it lay, Rock. I think it'd be better that way all the way around. Sign the papers, collect the money. It's coming to you. Then forget the whole thing.
Maybe you're right, Chris. Maybe I'll just do that.
That all, Rocky?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get back to these glasses then. Oh, Rocky, I've got a doctor appointment this afternoon. Only time he could take me. You mind if I knock off for an hour?
No, not at all.
Oh, thanks. I'll leave in a few minutes, but I'll be back before the evening rush.
Well, it didn't take a mind reader to figure that Chris knew more than he was saying. So when he left a few minutes later, I tailed him. First, he went to the Pyramid Insurance Company. Then he caught a cab and rode down to the El Mox Bazaar in Old Cairo. He wound his way through it and went in a tent under a crooked sign that said, Astrology, Prince Rico, the Divine. I waited up the street in front of a coffee and tobacco shop. The lady who ran it must have taken a correspondence course in high-pressure selling.
The Effendi wishes to purchase from my fine shop fine articles of coffee and tobacco.
No, thanks.
The best selection in all Egypt. Observe the fine coffees from Java and Brazil.
Very nice.
Observe the unexcelled selection of the aromatic
She kept up her
tobaccos from
jabber
Turkey.
and every once in a while tugged at my sleeve. But I kept my eye on the tent of Prince Rico, the Divine. Later, Chris came out again and started to leave the bazaar. But he never made it. The next thing I knew, Chris was rolling on the ground. There was a lot of reaction from the people in the crowded bazaar. Let me through. Come on, let me through.
Do not push, Effendi. I wish to see the happenings even as you.
I saw it all.
Yeah?
I saw all that happened. This man had just stepped out of Prince Rico's tent. He started up the Sharia when all of a
All right,
sudden...
let me get a look at him.
He is a friend of yours, Effendi? Oh, too sad. The bullet seems to have entered the head.
He's still alive. Call an ambulance, will you?
Most certainly, Effendi.
Then call Captain Sabaaya, the Cairo Police. Tell him what happened.
I will, Effendi. I will do that most promptly.
Rico. Which one of you is Prince Rico?
Oh, sir, none of us is Prince Rico. No, indeed, these eyes of mine saw Prince Rico in his purple robe leave the bazaar.
Fast?
Very fast, Effendi, with the speed of the falcon on the wing. Upon my word, Effendi, Prince Rico the Divine is truly gone.
Del Monte Foods is presenting tonight's adventure with Rocky Jordan.
The secret is out.
Yes, friends, the secret is out. The secret of Del Monte Catsup,'s marvelous flavor.
Let me tell it, Larry. Del Monte catsup is made with pineapple vinegar.
Pineapple vinegar. In fact, Del Monte has been using pineapple vinegar for some time now. That's the reason you like Del Monte Catsup so much. Everybody does. Catsup experts say The finer the vinegar, the better the catsup flavor. And Del Monte catsup made with pineapple vinegar certainly proves their point. It isn't that you taste the vinegar, it's the way pineapple vinegar brings out the very best in the other ingredients. Coaxes all the full, rich flavor from those plump, handsome, vine-ripened tomatoes Del Monte uses.
Yes, pineapple vinegar gives Del Monte catsup flavor an extra lift. Lots more pep.
And remember, it's made by Del Monte. No other catsup has it. So if you haven't already tried Del Monte catsup, you'll want to get some right away. Look for it at your grocer's. You'll be surprised at its price. For all its goodness, it's lower than many other quality brands. And now we take you back to Cairo and tonight's Rocky Jordan story, Memento from Adelaide.
In a little while, the ambulance showed, and Chris was carted off to a Cairo hospital. He was in pretty bad shape. A few minutes later, Captain Sabaaya and his men showed. The crowd was still milling about on the bazaar, and it seemed that they all wanted to get into the act.
I saw it, Captain. All that happened.
I saw even more than he. Yes. Question me. I request that Captain Sabaaya question me about the happening.
He will lie, Captain. I wish to be questioned first so that my picture will be in the newspaper.
Silence! Silence, all of you! Quiet! Now, all of you who claim to have pertinent facts shall be questioned in due time.
Captain of the police, sir. It would be most kind of you if you would allow the newspapers to say that the man was shot in front of my coffee and tobacco shop. Even though this was not so, the publicity would be the most...
Yes, later. Come, Jordan, let us walk away from the crowd. You are the one I wish to question.
Right, Sam.
Someday, Jordan, I shall learn your secret.
What secret's that?
How you manage always to be in close proximity of serious trouble. This is far enough. All right, Jordan, proceed with what you know of this.
There's not much to tell, Sam.
There's always much to tell in a case of violence. What were you and Chris doing here at the bazaar?
Well, we weren't together. Chris came to talk to Prince Rico. Remember when I called you checking on the Pyramid Insurance Company?
Yes.
I also asked if you knew anything about a girl named Adelaide Foss.
Yes, I remember.
She died a year ago in an auto accident. Today, the Pyramid Insurance Company turned up with a life insurance policy for $40,000, with me as beneficiary.
Continue.
Well, the strange thing about it, Sam, is that she had me marked down as her husband, and I barely knew her. When I mentioned it to Chris, he got worried and came over to have a conversation with Prince Rico.
Continue.
That's all there is.
That's all there is indeed. Jordan, a man is shot on the streets of Cairo. A woman leaves a life insurance policy to a man she barely knows. The man who is shot is connected with the dead woman and the man to whom she has left the money, and you say that's all there is.
All right, check with Pyramid. Talk to Lampo and Manchek. They're the ones that came to me with that screwy policy.
I shall talk to Mr. Lampo and Mr. Manchek and Prince Rico.
If you can find him.
Then I shall talk to Chris when he is well enough to speak.
If he is well enough to speak.
Well, at any rate, Jordan, I suggest you keep yourself available for further questioning. There is an atmosphere about this entire case that is completely bewildering.
Well, it was evening when I left Sam, and I headed straight for the hospital to talk to Chris, but the doctor said no. I left my number, and he said he'd call me at the Tambourine when Chris was in shape to have visitors. I left the hospital and started to call another cab when I caught a flash of purple robe coming toward the hospital. It figured to be Prince Rico, and I wanted some words with him. But that's when he saw me and started to run. I moved out after him. He started down a dark side street, but his robes didn't make it easy for running. 25 or so paces later, I caught up with him and grabbed him by the back of the neck. Tripped me with a skinny leg, but I held and yanked him toward me. A couple of seconds later, the prince and myself and a half a dozen yards of purple cloth were all entangled in the gutter.
Unhand me. You're encouraging the anger of the prince.
Sure.
Let me go.
Maybe, after we have some talk.
I have nothing to say to one such as you.
We'll see. Come on now, on your feet.
Oh, you have torn my robe. You have torn my illustrious garment.
On your feet now.
The stars shall be angry. They shall avenge this ignoble treatment.
This afternoon, my bartender went to see you.
I do not even know what you're talking about.
Maybe you need a little memory refresher, huh?
Do not strike me.
Why was Chris shot? What did he come to see you about? What do you know about Adelaide Foss? And don't say you don't know anything.
But who said I did not know anything? I know all. Prince Rico the Divine knows everything. I read it in the stars.
You know, Effendi, that the world is not round, as some say, but is truly flat. That the sky is an inverted bowl, and the stars are the language of the infinite, telling man of his future.
Tell me about the past, about Chris and Adelaide.
Prince Rico the Divine could give ready answers. But, alas, my mouth is sealed. The stars forbid me to speak.
Some people are liable to think you shot Chris.
I can keep no one from thinking as he wishes.
I bet a £5 note would open your mouth.
It would indeed. My mouth would open as large as you like, but no word would come out.
Chris knew Adelaide Foss. Knew her well, I'd say. I think maybe they went together for a while. I bet you know about that.
It is as I have said. I know everything.
It cost a lot of money to take out a $40,000 insurance policy. Adelaide was a poor girl. Where'd she get the money? Why'd she put me down as beneficiary? Right, Rico, come on.
Where are you taking me?
Consult the stars, buddy. They'll tell you. I grabbed Prince Rico the Divine by his phony royal neck and shoved him into a cab. 10 minutes later, I dumped him into the lap of Sergeant Greco and asked him to have Sam call me after he had a chance to question Rico. Then I went back to the Tambourine and put in a call to the hospital. Chris was still unconscious. I sat out at a table and looked through the insurance papers that Lampo and Manchak had left for me to sign. A moment later, the door opened and H. Manchak walked in.
Good evening, Mr. Jordan. Good evening.
Sit down, Mr. Manchak.
Thank you indeed. J. Lampo sends his respects. He had to go back to Alexandria.
Oh?
I see you have the insurance papers in front of you. Good. I have the check from Pyramid. If you will just give me those papers, I shall give you the check.
I haven't signed them yet.
Are they not in order?
Yeah, they seem to be all right.
Then what are you waiting for?
I don't know.
But you understand, Mr. Jordan, I cannot give you the check until you sign.
Uh-huh.
My pen, Mr. Jordan. You still do not sign? Perhaps, Mr. Jordan, it would be wise if you and I retired to your private office where we may talk this out more fully.
Sure, I'll go for that. Come on. There we are. All right. Start talking.
Mr. Jordan, it must be apparent to you by this time that there is more to this business than you are aware of, all of which makes it imperative that you sign these papers.
I'm afraid you'll have to clear that up.
Chris, your bartender, is a friend of yours?
Yeah?
You are aware that he and Adelaide Foss knew each other quite well?
I heard some talk.
But I would say that you are not aware of the fact that Adelaide Foss's death was not accidental.
What are you getting at?
I am simply stating a positive fact. Adelaide Foss's death was not accidental. Now, if suddenly the police get a suspicion of that fact and proceed with an investigation, they might learn that Chris was in love with the girl, but she was not in love with him. They might then wonder if he was not responsible for her death.
Get to the point, Manchak. What are you after?
This, Mr. Jordan, if you sign these papers. These are perfectly legal papers, let me impress upon you. I then can turn over to you this check worth $40,000.
Go on.
Should you then return $20,000 to me personally, I promise to keep certain information pertaining to Adelaide Foss's death from the police. They consider it a closed issue. It will remain so.
That makes a pretty sweet deal all the way around.
Indeed. You make $20,000, I make $20,000. And Chris's secret remains hidden forever.
Well, me taking that check, you make it sound like the thing to do.
It is? My pen.
Thanks.
First, the insurance papers releasing Pyramid from claim.
Huh?
Excellent. Here is the check.
Thank you.
Now, your check to me for $20,000.
Well, I don't have that much money in my checking account.
You will. Please endorse your check from Pyramid. Mail it to your bank for deposit tonight. In the morning, I shall be at the bank to cash your check to me.
You got it all figured out, haven't you?
These many years of experience in the insurance business. Now, you will endorse the $40,000 check and then write me one for $20,000.
I did as he said, wrote him a check, scribbled an endorsement on the one from Pyramid, and sealed it in an envelope. Then Manchak walked me to the mailbox to be sure I dropped it in. After that, he left, but I knew that wasn't the last I was to see of H. Manchak. Before he came back, I had to move fast. The first thing I did was put in a call to Chris to see if he could talk. The doc still said no. Well, if Chris couldn't talk, his belongings could. So I caught a cab and went over to his apartment, started to look around. First the bureau drawers, then the closets, finally a small desk standing in the corner. When the bottom drawer failed to come open at a pull, I knew I had something, so I kicked it in. Inside, I found a framed picture of a very skinny, very unhappy girl, Adelaide Foss. Clipped to the back of the picture was a faded piece of yellow paper. It was a short note, but it told a lot of things. And right then and there, I knew I had all the answers to the whole rotten mess. The next morning, I was but ready for H. Manchek. He put in an appearance around 10:45, and he didn't seem too happy.
Mr. Jordan.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Manchek. This is a surprise.
Mr. Jordan, I arrived at the bank this morning and attempted to cash the check for $20,000, which you made out in my favor. I was told there were insufficient funds in your account.
Is that so?
Would you please tell me how that was possible when I myself saw you deposit $40,000 by mail?
I'm going to tell you a lot of things. I don't think you're going to like any of them.
Mr. Jordan, are you suggesting that I call the police and tell them of Chris and Adelaide?
There's the phone. Call. I thought not. Chris didn't kill Adelaide, Manchek.
Her death was not an accident, I assure you.
No, but Chris didn't kill her, and I can prove it. But I can prove something else that's going to hit you a little closer. You had a pretty good scheme, Manchek, and it went something like this. A lonely girl, shall we say, dies. You sit right down, write a $40,000 insurance policy for her, and predate it before her death. You send the policy and the premium payment to your home office. Everything's fine. You wait. A year goes by. Another premium payment is due. The company sends a bill to the girl. No answer. The letter comes back. But it's a big policy, so they investigate and find out the girl's dead. Now there's a claim against the company. Pyramid is a legit outfit, so they investigate some more. They find out I'm the beneficiary. Amfo comes down from Alexandria to pay off the claim. How am I doing?
Proceed.
After the claim is paid, you move in and try to shake me down for half the money.
Mr. Jordan, may I ask how you intend to prove this?
By a piece of faded yellow paper I found in Chris's drawer. It explains why he didn't want me digging into Adelaide's accidental death. It explains how she died. And the handwriting will prove that it wasn't Adelaide Foss who took out the insurance policy at all, because it's not her signature on the policy.
And what, Mr. Jordan, is this miraculous piece of paper?
A suicide note from Adelaide.
I see. May I see this note?
Oh, no.
I do not believe that such a note exists.
You'll be convinced. Sit down.
You will not make that.
I said sit down! That's better.
Captain Sabaaya speaking.
Rocky, Sam. Come on over to the tambourine, will you? There's someone here who wants to tell you how he tried to fleece the Pyramid Insurance Company. How he threw a bullet into Chris, and how he ended up sitting in my waste paper basket.
Is that all he did, Jordan?
There are a few more things. Come on over. I'll tell you all about it.
In just a moment, Rocky Jordan returns to conclude tonight's story. Friends, it isn't every day we can sit down to a tender, juicy steak. With most of us, that's just a once-in-a-while special treat. You homemakers know it's the everyday meals that count, the low-cost foods that come within the average family budget. Preparing such foods in new and interesting ways, giving them a hearty He-Man flavor is easy with Del Monte tomato sauce. It's been tested for flavor by a generation of good cooks. Why, it's almost as much of a staple with them as pepper and salt. For instance, Mrs. Blanche Clove of Los Angeles said,
I use lots of plain meats in one-dish meals, lots of big vegetable casseroles, and I just wouldn't know how to make them without Del Monte tomato sauce. The flavor is just right for our taste. It makes any dish zesty and peppy and better looking, too. Yes, Del Monte tomato sauce has been my standby ever since we came to California 24 years ago.
Thank you, Mrs. Clove. Yes, it is easy to make budget dishes popular with Del Monte tomato sauce. Just pour it on and cook it in. Then notice how that rich, spiced tomato flavor perks up those inexpensive foods. Watch your family enjoy every bite. Next time you go shopping, ask for Del Monte, the original tomato sauce. Back now to Rocky Jordan.
Sam came over and bundled up Mancheck. He was all used up, and it figured Sam wouldn't have much trouble making him talk. Sam took him down to the lockup, and I said I'd be along soon. First, I stopped off at the hospital to check on Chris. The doctor wouldn't let me stay long, but he said Chris would be all right. So I scooted right back over to Sam's office to brush up some of the details. Sam was rocking back and forth in his squeaky chair, a dossier on H. Mancheck in one hand and a pen in the other.
Jordan, I'm glad you came so promptly. There are still a few questions I would like to ask to make this dossier complete.
Shoot, Sam.
Oh, first, how is Chris?
Seems to be okay. Doc says he'll work it out.
Good. A fine young man. Now, Jordan, if you please, would you trace Chris's movement up until the time he was shot?
Sure, Sam. When I told him about the insurance policy Adelaide was supposed to have taken out, he knew something was wrong. He went to the insurance company to check.
And that is when Mancheck became aware that Chris might be one who could spoil his scheme.
Yeah, right. Mancheck followed Chris to the Elmox Bazaar when Chris went to talk things over with Prince Rico, who had also known Adelaide and how she died. When Chris left the tent, Mancheck cut him down.
I see. Now, about the policy itself, the signature upon it will prove, of course, that it was not Adelaide Foss who signed it, but Mancheck himself. Now, why did he choose to call you Adelaide's husband?
Well, as near as I can figure it out, if the insurance company had to pay a claim to a husband, there wouldn't be much investigation. Why I was picked to be the husband, well, he needed someone who had some association with Adelaide.
Yeah.
And someone he thought might be willing to shut his eyes and go along with his scheme for the $20,000.
Now, one thing more, Jordan. Why was Mancheck not able to cash the check you wrote him?
Insufficient funds, remember?
But the $40,000 check deposited more than covered the $20,000 check Mancheck wished to cash.
Sam. The bank wouldn't accept the $40,000 check for deposit.
Oh, and why?
Because I didn't endorse it right. The name I wrote on the back wasn't mine. It was Adelaide Foss.
For the finest in tomato flavor, enjoy the whole family of Del Monte tomato products.
Del Monte ketchup and chili sauce.
Del Monte tomato sauce and canned tomatoes.
And Del Monte tomato juice.
Remember, buy wisely. Buy for flavor. Buy Del Monte. Del Monte, the brand you trust for flavor in so many good foods. Rocky Jordan, written by Larry Roman and Gomer Cool, stars Jack Moyles in the title role with Jay Novello as Sam Sabaaya, and is produced and directed by Cliff Howell, with original music composed and conducted by Richard Arant. Remember, you have a date next week at the Cafe Tambourine, run by Rocky Jordan. And the story is Pattern for Revenge. When it's real corn patch flavor you want, just ask for Del Monte corn, either golden cream style or whole kernel. Yes, if you want rich, melt-in-your-mouth, butter-tender corn, look for Del Monte, the brand that always puts flavor first. Next Sunday, Rocky Jordan will come to you at a new time, 1/2 hour later. Here's the lineup. You will hear Jack Benny, then Amos and Andy, then Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, and then Rocky Jordan. Larry Thor speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.